made millions out of nothing just from spilling my truth. Yeah, we still grinding like we got something to prove, even though we got.
You are now tuned in to Straight Talk No Chaser with Kills. I created this space for people like myself who are looking for a community, want to have those uncomfortable conversations, unfiltered, no pretending, no mask, no judgment, just real life conversations, real connection with real people. This is a space where nothing is off limits, just good vibes and great advice. I did this not just for myself, but for people like me who struggle making connections, who are authentic and love, but find it hard finding people like themselves, find it hard having conversations and connecting with others because they feel different. I understand that life is real, and many of us do not have safe spaces where we can go without judgment to just let our hair down and talk about these things that help us lighten our load. I often find myself holding things in because it's hard for me to connect with people or to ask for help, or it has been in my past, but that's something that I'm actively working on. And I know I can't be the only one. I understand that life is real. And the more that I live and go through my situations, I understand that it's equally important to have a place where you can go, that you feel connected with others, that you feel like you can express the things that you cannot always say, that when you need to let something off and you have so much weight on you and you need to cry, you need to know that it's places that you can go. So I have started to create a community for people like that want to come together, that need others, that thrive off community, and just want a space where they can laugh, vent, and be themselves without judgment. There have been times on my personal journey where I felt misunderstood, where I've wanted to give up. I felt like there was nowhere for me to go. Like I was just not living life, but existing. And through that, I've learned that we all carry pain. And there are times when we feel like nobody cares or understands us. In this space, you are not alone. You are cared for. And there are people like you. Life is beautiful if you allow it to be. Life is beautiful when your mindset is beautiful. When you are able to let the weight go and not hold yourself hostage and carry the burdens that you don't have to carry any longer. When you realize that every battle is not yours to fight, it becomes easier to trust other people and to get close to other people and to allow your guards to fall down. For so long, I've had experiences where it was hard for me to trust other people, hard for me to get close to other people, and that was a very lonely life that I was living. It was hard for me to see my true value, my worth, and I settled for things that I should have never settled for. I've been in rooms that I should have never entered. I've been around people that were never worthy of my presence. And I thought so differently of myself. Like I didn't realize how much weight I carried. And that's not to be arrogant, but you have to know who you are in this world. When you don't know who you are, it's hard to see your way out of situations. It's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, so they say. It's hard to figure out finances and relationships and raise your kids and keep a positive attitude when it feels like everything in life is working against you. And it's even harder when you're working against yourself. There was a point in my life where I felt like everything that could go wrong was going wrong. I lost myself, in all honesty. I didn't know who I was anymore. It's outside of being a parent, going to school, it's like I didn't have an identity. The life that I was living became so draining and so heavy on me, and I didn't realize the power that I had. It took me so long to see that I was the problem. I was the problem. I was the problem because I settled for things that I didn't want. I was the problem because I made decisions or held other people responsible for my happiness. I was the problem because I wanted the same people that hurt me to heal me, and that's just impossible. I gave my power away rather than knowing how much power I possessed. And once I realized I was the problem, I had to learn how to love myself. I had to reparent myself. and put myself first, even above my kids. And don't get me wrong, I love my kids. Yes, your children should come first, but if you don't come first, nobody will be happy around you because you're not going to be happy. You're going to resent the people around you because you are giving your all away, and by the time it gets to you, you have nothing left. So, in that process, I took the time to be with myself, by myself, learn to enjoy my own company. I had to learn how to heal those broken places in me. It was my responsibility to do that, not nobody else's. I had to learn that if I loved me, I could really give my children what they really deserved. I could give myself what I really deserved rather than settling for things that I knew I didn't want. That's where the idea for this podcast came from. I decided to create a place for people like me, mothers, fathers, parents, whoever you are, anybody from all walks of life. We all know what it's like to be hurt. We all know what it's like to be burdened. We all know what it's like to want more, but just not know where to start. We all know what it's like to grieve and need to heal from things or being in broken places or dark places. But know that those moments do not last forever. A bad moment does not have to turn into a bad day. A bad chapter of your life does not have to be your entire story. That's what Straight Talk No Chaser is about. This is a space for transitioning, for those who yearn for community, for connection, for peace, for love, for laughter, for a moment to just have a break and be yourself without any motives or anyone needing anything from you. When I think back on my healing journey in my life, I look at all the many phases that I went through, all the times that I had to rebrand myself. There were so many versions of myself that I went through. I'm here to let everybody know it is okay to feel how you feel. It is okay to rebrand yourself. Change is scary, but it's necessary. Do what you have to do to be the best version of yourself. Don't let anyone or anything hold you back. Change as many times as you need to. Your change is not about anybody else, but it has everything to do with you. Life calls for constant evolution. You will forever be learning. You will forever be growing. So there's no such thing as too much change or too much growth or you not being who you used to be. It's not meant for you to be the same way your entire life. That means you haven't grown. And as we learn things in life, as we progress, we are growing so much. And if you outgrow people or even outgrow versions of yourself, that is okay. Let that go. Learn to release. The reason my movement is so important, because Straight Talk No Chaser, it's not just a podcast, it's a movement. And the importance of it is that so many of us want better. So many of us see ourselves in higher positions. So many of us want out of whatever the situation is, whether it's finances, living conditions, relationships, dating, whatever. We want so much more, but it's hard to obtain that when you don't know where to start. I can speak about these things because I am a mother of 7 children. I have 5 boys, 2 girls. My oldest is 21 and my youngest is 6. My relationship with my mother was strained. So I didn't have that example of what a mother was, but I was able to be an amazing mother. And still, there is room for me to grow. But my entire life, she has never really dealt with me, dealt with my children. And there was so much I had to learn on my own. And there was so much that I wish I had support or some type of foundation in, but I didn't. And that's okay. I learned things along the way. And we're going to say that story for another time because that's a whole nother story in itself. Despite my circumstances, I always persevered. I continued to push for what I believed in, for what I wanted, instead of becoming another student. I always knew that I wanted better. I always knew that I wasn't going to be the statistic that they told me that I would be. Throughout my life, because I knew that, I always pushed myself to do more. Sometimes I even spread myself way too thin because I wanted to prove people wrong. But what I realized was it was never about other people. It was always about me. And even though I did certain things to prove other people wrong in the end, I proved to myself that the impossible is possible. What people speak over you does not have to be your destiny. Do not internalize it. What somebody perceives you to be and who you truly are two different things. I continued to push myself through school. I got my associates, then my bachelor's in sociology from Harris-Stowe State University, and then I went on to get my master's in social work. I will be graduating May 16th. So I'm going to pat myself on the back. My point in saying that is to say that life is not always ideal. Your story is not about perfection, but it's about how you persevere. Throughout everything, I continued to push forward. I never folded. And you will get tired on the journey. And that's okay. Honor however you feel at whatever stage you are in. Because I know firsthand how hard it is. There are so many times I thought about quitting. So many nights that I cried silent tears. There were days where I went without many things that I needed. And I didn't know how I was going to make it through. But God, I had to literally rebuild myself from scratch. I had to learn who I was again. Not who people said I was. Not what the world said I was. Because I had so many kids. Not what statistics said I was. Not the wounded little girl that my mama decided to reject or wouldn't accept. Not a single mother. Not just the student. Not the failed relationships that I've been through. But the real me. The me underneath all the BS that I went through. The me before my mindset had shifted. Before the world got to me and tainted who I really was. And that is the importance of this community. So many of us are hurting. So many of us are just surviving. Do not live your life just surviving. You don't have to fight all the time. Things can be easy. Things can be good. Life is sweet. Life is beautiful. It's hard, but it's beautiful if you allow it to be. So many of us are healing from pain that we did not inflict on ourselves, things we never asked for. But it is definitely your responsibility to heal it. Don't look for others for validation. Don't look for nobody to come save you. Don't look for nobody to come heal the things that they broke. Do that for yourself. If you ever felt lost, if you ever lost yourself trying to hold everything together, this is the place for you. We can talk about it. Lay it all on the table. It's room for us all to grow, evolve, get money, be the best versions of ourselves. Come here when you're feeling low. In this space, we can change how we see ourselves. We can learn to let go, release what no longer serves us, and heal rather than carrying burdens and loads that are no longer ours to carry. We're going to have tough conversations, and we're going to have fun. You can also send in requests if you would like on topics that you would like to touch on that I might not be touching on. We're open to all things in this space. As I said before, nothing is off limits. So welcome to Straight Talk No Chaser. Thank you for tuning in with Kels. Take what you need, leave what you don't, and come back whenever you need to feel something real. Protect your peace, keep growing, keep glowing, and keep healing. And give yourself grace in the process. Until next time.
Took every risk cause we had nothing to lose. Making millions just spelling my truth. Spelling my truth.